In 2017, after getting married, my husband moved in with my parents, partly because his family lives in the countryside, while ours is in Saigon. We wanted to move out, but our finances were tight, and we also wanted to save up for children. Our house was quite small, with 3 generations living together. As newlyweds, we were given preferential treatment and allowed to stay on the loft for privacy. However, we were still hesitant due to the noise, and ended up not having children. Later on, we decided to wait until the egg release period and took advantage of hotels for intimacy. We usually went to a hotel close to our place, but one afternoon, it was closed for renovations, so we went to another nearby hotel on Huang Sa Street in Niu Loc Canal. When we arrived, the staff told us they were fully booked. As my husband was turning the car around, a woman called out, "Hey, there's a room available." She then ran over to us and handed us the key, asking us to leave the car for the staff to park. She even scolded a young staff member, saying, "If you don't work properly, I'll fire you." We didn't pay much attention, went up to the room, and my husband took a shower since he just got off work, while I lay on the bed and played with my phone. Suddenly, a strong odor filled the room, like that of a dead animal. It was fleeting, but I sat up and looked under the bed to see if there was a dead mouse, only to find used condoms scattered under it. I got up and knocked on the bathroom door, scolding my husband. "What kind of dirty hotel is this? They don't clean up after guests, and there are used condoms under the bed." Although my husband did not answer me, I could hear him humming a song while brushing his teeth. That day, he even played Trin's music while taking a shower, which was unusual because he usually took quick showers. I also had never heard him listen to Trin's music before. However, I patiently waited, thinking that he wanted a change of pace. I was lying in bed, and I didn't know when I fell asleep. I suddenly dreamt about a purple foot dangling on the windowsill. There were flies crawling all over the swollen, putrid toes, and the smell was unbearable. It was so real that it startled me awake. I then saw my husband standing at the foot of the bed, staring at me. I quickly regained my composure and said, "Why are you taking a bath for nearly half an hour? You usually hurry." He didn't say anything, just smiled and gave me a towel, letting me take a shower. I took advantage of the opportunity as I was afraid of paying more for the extra time. As I came out of the bathroom, I was startled by my husband, who was in a very strange position, leaning against the window frame, his head on one side and his arms and legs clinging onto the iron bars. I burst out laughing, saying, "Are you trying out new positions or are you just going crazy?" My husband didn't say anything, just grinned and rushed towards me like a hungry tiger, with a completely different approach, not paying attention to my feelings, and relentlessly laughing in a scary way. At that moment, I was scared and slapped my husband's face a few times while shouting, "Are you crazy? Why are you acting strange today?" My husband whispered, "What's your name? Where do you live?" At this point, I was a little scared, but didn't want to ruin the mood for my husband, so I played along and said, "My name is Tao, and I live on Tran Van Dang Street." As soon as I finished speaking, my husband raised his head and asked while laughing heartily, "Be my wife, okay? Will you agree?" I was confused and asked, "Are you crazy today?" My husband squeezed my neck and shouted, "Be my wife!" I was in pain and couldn't breathe, so I kicked him away. My husband rushed back and hugged me tightly, saying, "I am Tai, and this is our honeymoon suite, Tao." I was scared, so I slapped him in the face and yelled, "Fong, it's me, your wife." I grabbed a water bottle and poured it straight into my husband's face. He then fell over and I panicked and threw a pile of clothes out of the door while screaming. At this point, neither me nor my husband were wearing clothes. We heard footsteps, and 2 staff members ran up the stairs but were too afraid to approach us when they saw us standing naked in the doorway. I grabbed a shirt and put it on and yelled at the staff members to help us get out. It was only then that my husband began to wake up. We hurriedly went downstairs, got dressed, and recounted the story to each other. When we asked the receptionist about the little girl, she said she had only been working for over 3 months, so she didn't know much. But she had heard from the water seller that a few months ago, A man rented the room and committed suicide by hanging himself right on the doorframe. He had been dead for over 2 days before being discovered. She didn't know how to string the story together, so when we asked her to calculate the bill, she quietly went to the motorcycle covered with a helmet and disappeared.